Hello, welcome to class today. We're doing a stretchy sort of flow in this class, and props wise, I've just got a couple of blocks and a bolster. If you have those, then grab them. If you don't, no worries, and we can get away without them. And we'll jump straight into it today with a bit of a seated warm-up. So I'm going to sit up on my bolster in a kneeling position. Just take any seated position that you find comfortable. We'll be here for a few minutes. Let's begin with 3 deep connected breaths. Closing the eyes and inhaling nice and deep. Imagine the breath going all the way down to your womb, around your baby, and filling you up with a beautiful light. Inhale. Exhale. If you need to lean back a little bit to feel like you can get the breath in, if you're further on in pregnancy, do so. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhaling. Exhale. Opening the eyes. Let's begin with some arm and shoulder movements. So bringing the left fingertips down towards the floor or to a block. Drop the shoulder away from the ears and then reach the right arm up and over. So instead of just kind of hanging out here, we really want to get the most of this. I want you to reach as far as you can with that right arm. Really reach over and ground down through this right hip. This is a great one too if you have someone at home who can press into this hip and actually ground you there whilst you're reaching up and over. If you don't need the block, you just have the hand down on the floor. Reach, 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 reach. We really want to stretch through that right side. Get some movement in those side ribs. They're probably a bit locked up, especially if you're further along in pregnancy. Right hand down, left arm reaches. Again, ground down through the left hip. Really reach with that left arm. See if you can keep the breath going, trying not to hold the breath. Nice, back over. This time I want you to hover the left hand off the ground and reach over with the right again. So we're working a little bit harder now. We don't have that hand down. If you want a little bit stronger, you reach the left arm up as well. Other side, hover the right arm, left arm reaches up and over, or option to bring the right arm up. Nice, back to center. Now we're going to take the arms together, palms of the hands come together, drop the shoulders away from the ears. And shoulders come together again, drop them down the back. Scapula are retracting now. So that's the shoulder blades coming together like those little angel wings. Again, coming forward. And back. Keep that little tuck through the tail so we're not extending too much through the lumbar spine. Beautiful. And down. We're going to combine those now. Over to the side, to the front, other side, and back. Other way, reverse it. Front, side, and back. And then just free it up a little bit. So it doesn't have to be in any particular order, just moving through those positions, being really mindful of what the scapula are doing and keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. Breath nice and steady. Nice, keep it going here. We want to keep as mobile as possible in pregnancy through the whole rib cage, T-spine area to keep everything feeling really nice and open and free. Nice, and coming back. Beautiful. Roll the shoulders back, forward, shake everything out a little bit. Coming off your bolster and over into all fours. in tall force position here. We're going to take some little spinal waves. So rocking back onto the knees, I want you to think about a wave starting at the sacrum, right at the bottom of your spine, and then waving forward and back, keeping the arms straight throughout. Waving all the way up and back. Lumbar spine can get really stiff in pregnancy. If you're earlier on, you might not notice this yet, which is great. We want to keep it that way as much as possible. If you're later in pregnancy, you might find there's a lot of stiffness in this area. That's really normal. You have a lot of extra weight happening in the uterus. Your body is supporting. But let's just try, give it a little bit of love. Nice. Okay, we're going to come into downward facing dog now. If you're experiencing bad reflux and having the head down today is not happening, please just come to the wall, hands to the wall, and just drop the head down, but so that it's not lower than the hips. Tucking the toes under. Exhale, activate through the cores. We lift the knees and come back into downward dog. If you need to, just take the feet as wide as you need for growing belly and keep a bend through the knees. Let's pedal out the feet, dropping the heels one at a time, back. If you're on the wall, you can do this too. You just walk the feet a little bit further back and pedal the heels. Nice, keep pedaling. Now let's just create a little bit of free movement here. So you might want to take some circles with the chest. If you're feeling like a little bit of extra core work, you can rock forward in and out of a high plank. Just being mindful of the breath. Maybe you want to get a bit more into the hamstrings, so pedaling more through the feet or taking a single leg. Try not to overthink this, just moving here intuitively. Practicing this free intuitive movement in pregnancy is great for labor as well. Nice. Settling in to your down dog. Okay, now we're going to come into a hip openers. So either staying in down dog or you can drop to the knees and do this here. I'll demonstrate it in downward facing. Coming into a single leg dog, we're going to send the right leg to the back of the room. Keep the hips square. Then open the hip out, keep the leg straight, close it off again. Now open the hip, bend the knee. Nice, keep pressing firmly through the hands. Close it off. Let's take some circles here. Going in the same direction for 3. And change. 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful. I'm going to step this hand all the way to the outside of the right, this foot all the way to the outside of the right hand. You can either try get it there in one go or take a few steps or drop to the knee first and come into our low lunge. Arms up towards the sky. And here, tuck the back toes under. We're going to try and come up into a high lunge. If you need more support to get there, you put the hand down. Otherwise, coming up. We're going to take some little knee taps. So holding in this position, you're going to take the back knee down as close to the floor as you can. If you can tap it, awesome, and come back up. Tap it and come back up. See how my front thigh isn't moving too much up and down like this? We're holding this lunge and just tapping the knee. Let's do one more. Beautiful, and hold. Let's open the arms out into this cactus position. Tuck the tail, drive the chest forward, and breathe. Beautiful. Arms up. Lower all the way down to the floor. You might want your blocks for this next one. If you have them, we're going to come into straight leg in the front. Toes coming back towards you. If you don't have your blocks, you can just stay a little bit more upright and perhaps even use a wall if you need for the extra balance. Tipping forward, keep the spine nice and long. We want to feel a stretch through the back of the hamstring, but keeping this leg active. So right toes pulling back. If you don't have much room for belly, you can take this right leg further out to the side. You'll still get a nice stretch through the hamstring here. And breathe. Nice. Walking that foot back in, if you had it out to the side, back into our lunge position. Again, you can have your blocks handy. Keep that tuck through the tail and see if you can lunge a little bit deeper. And back out. Nice. Coming all the way back to our all fours position, and we're going to send the hips back into downward facing to do our left side. If you did the first part from the knees, just stay here in all fours. Otherwise, tuck the toes, send the hips back. We're going to take the left leg back towards the ceiling, keeping the hips square. Then open the hip out, keep the leg straight, and back to the floor. Bend the knee and open the hip. Keep the hands pressing firmly into the floor if you're in down dog. And now let's take our 3 circles. 1, 2, and 3, and reverse. 1. Keep the breath going steady. 2, and 3. Beautiful. We're going to step this foot, if you can, all the way to the outside of the foot. If you need to do it in a few goes or from the knee, do that. Beautiful. Then from here, drop the knee down to the floor. Walk that left foot a little bit further into the midline. Coming up, extend the arms up. We're going to come into a high lunge. Tuck the back toes. Press strongly off the floor. Nice. Here we're going to take our knee taps. So down, touch. 1, 2, we've got 2 more. Keep reaching up, strong through the legs. 3 and 4. Open the arms out to the side and hold. And coming down. And let's come into our lunge. Coming a little bit further. You can take this foot out again on this side if you need a bit more space for the belly. But just try and avoid letting this hip twist too far back. Trying still to keep that right hip coming forward. And up. Straighten through the leg. Need your blocks, grab those. And tuck the toes, send the toes back towards you. Hands to the blocks, if you have them, and coming forward. Again, you can take this leg out to the side. Breathing into that hamstring. Nice and long through the spine. Keep that left leg active. Coming back up. Beautiful. Walk that foot back in if you had it out. And we can take a little bit more of a lunge here. So dropping further into the lunge, but keeping that pelvis tucked. So we're getting a nice stretch into this back hip flexor here. Nice. Coming all the way back to all fours position. Send your blocks forward, out of the way. And let's take a puppy pose here. So grab your bolster if you have it, which can be really nice just to drop the forearms onto the bolster. If you don't have a bolster, that's fine. Just take the fingertips forward. Keep the hips high. Keep a little tuck through the tail, so not allowing the belly to pull you forward. and dropping down towards the floor. Nice. If you're on the bolster, you can get a little bit of extra shoulder stretch by bringing the thumbs back towards the base of the neck. Really dropping into the breath now. Coming all the way back up to your all fours, tuck the toes under and see if you can rock back into a toe set. Stretch out the toes here. Can be a bit painful. If you absolutely can't stay here, then just bring the hands forward and you can just try rocking forward and back into it. But give it a go. See if you can get 5 or 10 seconds here at a minimum. And then come out and then try coming back in again. Focus on the sensation in the feet. Breathing down into that space. Few more breaths here. Nearly there. Nice. Stay in your toe set. If you feel like adding a little bit more of a challenge today, take the knees a little bit wider. Use the hands or not, or the blocks by your side for a bit of support. And see if you can, I'm going to use my hands today, see if you can send the feet back coming into a squat. You might need to take the feet a bit wider. Depending on how far into your pregnancy you are, you might find the belly is a little bit in the way here, but just take the feet even wider and face the toes out if you need more room for belly. You can also be up on the balls of the feet here. And see if we can reverse it. Fingers or blocks down, knees down. You can bring the knees back, the feet back a little bit closer together and come back into your toe set. You can try that a few more times if you like. Okay, give these poor feet a rest. Coming forward onto the hands. Tap the tops of the feet out. Give them a little shake. Feel the blood coming back in. Coming all the way back to your seated position. And we'll take 3 full breaths like we did at the start to close the practice today. So inhaling nice and deep down into the belly, down into the pelvis. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And this last one, direct the breath right down into your pelvis, softening and expanding. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that class. I'll see you again really soon. Bye.